So, Paris, Texas has had a couple of Black Lives Matter protests, and they claim to have been peaceful. Well, the protests themselves may have been peaceful. In fact, there were many that have witnessed have said that they were peaceful, and that's good, but the problem with the protest is that they incite action. They incite vandalism. So last night we had the peaceful protest at the Lamar County Courthouse, and then today, or later that evening, someone vandalized the fountain in downtown Paris and also the Eiffel Tower. They, in orange spray paint, wrote Black Lives Matter and F the police. That is not peaceful. The protests incite action. Um, the protest itself may have been peaceful, but the aftermath has not been peaceful. And although this is not bad as some other places, it could possibly get worse. So, then the fountain in downtown Paris and the Eiffel Tower both got vandalized. Then later this afternoon, or earlier this afternoon, a another Target got vandalized by Black Lives Matter, and on this one it read "F the police, Black Lives Matter" with ACAB. Now, you see ACAB written throughout the Capitol Hill, what is known as the Chaz Zone, that it is a cop-free zone. ACAB means, according to this, I will show you, all cops are bastards. So, in Paris, Texas, after the protest, we are starting to see the decline. F the police and Black Lives Matter and all cops are bastards. So, even though the protests themselves have been peaceful, they are leading to more outrageous crime. They are leading to something bigger. We have proof of this this is from Paris, myparistexas.com on Facebook. This is from the Paris, Texas News, that a fountain downtown Paris and the Eiffel Tower, may I say the beloved Eiffel Tower at the Love Civic Center, has been hit and vandalized by the Black Lives Matter. So, how long will this go on? How long are we going to continue to let Black Lives Matter explicitly deface public property and vandalize, in the name of peace, vandalize your beloved city, Paris, Texas? So before you start saying that these protests don't matter and that the protests are peaceful, look at what comes from it. Now, let's look at what has come from it in other places. Let's go to Fort Worth. The Fort Worth Police and Firefighters Memorial was vandalized by Black Lives Matter, again with ACAB, all cops are bastards tag. So, Fort Worth, Texas, the Fort Worth Police and Firefighters Memorial was vandalized sometime between Sunday night and Monday morning. So, the police are investigating, but have not immediately responded to questions. So there you can see it's been vandalized by Black Lives Matter. And then under the Fort Worth and Firefighter Memorial, all cops are bastards. So this is not peaceful. This may have been peaceful in and of itself. The event itself may have been peaceful. This is not peaceful. This is not peaceful. This is vandalism. This is a crime by the group Black Lives Matter. So, Fort Worth is experiencing it. Dallas is experiencing it. Paris, Texas is experiencing it after the protests. So let's look at some other things that are going on around the world.
This mob of hundreds of Black Lives Matter protesters following Peter Hitchens because he expressed a different opinion. Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man.
Black Lives Matter are harassing this man because he expressed a different opinion than their opinion. That's very peaceful.
Seattle police station that has essentially been This is the Seattle police station that has essentially been taken over by protesters, and you can see it's been totally defaced. Look where it used to say the Seattle Police Department, and now it says the Seattle People Department. It's peaceful. Some of these protesters are armed, Anderson, so you have to worry about the potential for bloodshed, the potential for violence, bloodshed.
That is very peaceful, and this happened after claimed a peaceful protest broke out.
Hold on. Who don't matter? This motherfucker. 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 They nonviolence, bitch, I'm not.
So, as you can see, these are not peaceful times. These protests are not innocent. These protests are not peaceful. These protests are here to incite anarchy and get rid of the police, to get rid of the police force. These are not peaceful times. These are not peaceful protests. Let's look at this one.
Because of what's going on with George Floyd's death, they're using that as an advantage moment where they can defund the police. And then without the police power, without order and law, then what happens? Then it goes to the whims of these anarchists going on. And it's sad that you got literally thousands of population submitted to these hundreds of people, this minuscule people who just take over the whole thing.
So, see, it's not peaceful. It's here, they are lawless. I'm not talking specifically Black Lives Matter, I'm talking people in general. I'm talking whites. I'm not saying it's just the blacks that are lawless. All men are lawless. It's about lawless, to get rid of law, to bring about anarchy. And it's happening right in front of our eyes, and you're too blind to see it. It's not peaceful. It's not about George Floyd's death. It's about living in a lawless land. Defund the police. Make it where they cannot protect themselves and defend themselves from criminals. That way the criminals can do whatever they want to do. It's not about peaceful. It's not about even race. It's so that lawless man, criminals, can go on being criminals without no worry, without no fear of the law interfering with their criminal activities. The zones you see at Capitol Hill, the Chaz zone, has the same writings all over it. All cops are bastards. So these protests are not peaceful. These protests are not about race equality, which there's so many things on that in itself. First of all, we no longer practice slavery, so there's that it's not even a thing in our current time, in our current culture. It's to bring about anarchy, to bring about a lawless, where the law has no effect on the criminals, then they can do and run around freely to do what they want to do. So, and that's the truth.